All right, everyone, welcome back to CoinTalk Podcast. You guys ready for this? Over $500 million flowed into Ethereum ETFs in just 5 days.
Yeah, that's serious institutional interest.
It is. Big time. And that is exactly what we're going to unpack in today's deep dive.
It's pretty wild, right? And, it's not just some, random surge. This is happening against a backdrop of relative stability in the crypto market.
Yeah.
So to me, this kind of suggests like a strategic shift of bigger players becoming more confident in Ethereum's long-term potential.
Okay, so before we get too far, let's make sure everyone listening is on the same page here.
Yeah.
We've talked about ETFs before on CoinTalk Podcast. But for anyone new to the channel, what exactly are they and why are they significant, like in the crypto world?
Yeah, so think of an ETF like a basket of assets you can invest in, right? So instead of like directly buying Ethereum, you're buying shares of an ETF that cracks its price.
Right.
And this offers investors a regulated and kind of a more familiar way to get involved with crypto, which is a big reason why institutional investors are attracted to them.
Totally makes sense because it's like a gateway for those big institutions to dip their toes into the crypto pool without having to worry about the technical complexities of actually owning and storing Ethereum.
Precisely.
Right.
And, this influx of institutional capital is a major signal. It's not just about price movements.
Yeah.
It points to a growing acceptance of Ethereum as like a legitimate asset class.
Totally. And this isn't just like a little blip on the radar either. We are talking about the third biggest day ever for Ethereum ETF inflows since they launched back in July.
Wow.
It's a massive 16% of all the money that has ever gone into Ethereum ETFs.
Huge.
If you want to stay ahead of the curve on all things crypto, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell on CoinTalk Podcast.
Yes.
We'll keep you updated on all the major moves in the market.
That 16% figure is just wild. Like, it really underscores the scale of the shift.
Yeah.
It's pretty remarkable when you think about it. Almost a fifth of all the institutional money that's ever gone into these ETFs landed in just 5 trading sessions.
Wow, that's huge. So who are the big players driving this surge? Give us the names, give it the numbers.
Sure. So BlackRock's iShares Ethereum Trust, or ETHA, is leading the pack. They're managing a staggering $3.75 billion in assets. Close behind is Grayscale's Ethereum Trust ETH, with $3.67 billion under management. And rounding out the top 3 is Fidelity's Ethereum fund, ETH, with $1.34 billion. These are not your average day traders.
No.
These are financial giants making strategic moves.
And when those giants make a move, the whole market sits up and pays attention.
Absolutely.
It's like a validation of Ethereum's potential, wouldn't you say?
For sure, these institutions have, teams of analysts and researchers that are constantly evaluating market opportunities.
Right.
Their involvement adds like a layer of legitimacy that can attract even more investors driving further growth.
Yeah, it's interesting, though, because this surge coincides with a pretty significant rebound in Ethereum's price. You remember earlier this month when it dipped to $2,150?
Yeah.
Well, by February 4th, it had shot up to $2,920.
Wow.
That's a 36% jump. So is this just a coincidence, or is there a connection between these two events?
I think it's safe to say there's a connection.
Yeah.
While correlation doesn't equal causation, the timing here is hard to ignore.
Yeah.
This influx of institutional money through ETFs certainly plays a role in driving demand and pushing prices upward.
Right, because when demand increases and supply stays, the same prices naturally go up. Basic economics.
Right.
But is this purely driven by ETF investments, or are there other factors at play? After all, we did see that temporary reversal of tariffs that might have boosted the broader market.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
The financial world is a complex system, and it's rare for any single factor to explain a major market movement.
Right.
The tariff reversal likely played a role, and there are probably other factors we haven't even considered yet.
Yeah.
But the ETF surge is definitely a significant piece of the puzzle.
It's like trying to solve a giant crypto puzzle.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so let's talk about one piece of that puzzle that has a lot of people scratching their heads. These capitulation candles that investor Ted Pillow has been tweeting about. He's noticed them in Q1 and Q3 of 2024.
Right.
And now again in Q1 of 2025.
Those candles are really interesting. Essentially, they represent a sharp downward price movement that usually happens at a point of maximum pessimism in the market. It's like everyone is panicking and selling off their Ethereum, driving the price down dramatically.
Okay, so imagine this. Everyone is running for the exits, convinced that Ethereum is doomed.
Right.
But then suddenly things turn around. What happened after those previous capitulation candles? Was it just more doom and gloom?
Not at all. In fact, each of those capitulation candles was followed by a massive rally.
Really?
We're talking a 90% to 100% surge in Ethereum's price over the following 8 to 12 weeks.
Whoa. That's a pretty significant rebound. Are you saying that history might be about to repeat itself? A 90% to 100% surge. If that's the case, then this deep dive is even more important. Make sure you stick with us on CoinTalk Podcast to hear our experts' take on whether this pattern will continue.
Hold on there. While those historical patterns are fascinating and I can understand the excitement around them, it's crucial to remember that past performance isn't a guarantee of future results.
Right.
The crypto market is constantly evolving, and there are always new variables to consider.
So we need to be cautious, do our own research, and not get caught up in the hype.
Exact.
Solid advice as always. But it's hard not to get excited when you see these kinds of patterns emerging.
Right.
It's like watching a financial thriller unfold in real time.
I agree. It's an exciting time to be following the crypto market, especially with these major developments in the Ethereum space.
Exactly. And speaking of exciting developments, we're going to dive even deeper into the implications of this ETF surge and explore what it could mean for the future of Ethereum in part 2 of this deep dive. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Sounds good. This recent activity in the Ethereum ETF space has certainly got everyone buzzing.
Buzzing is an understatement. It's like
Yep.
someone dropped a bomb in the crypto market and everyone's trying to figure out what the fallout will be. But is this just like a temporary explosion of interest, or are we seeing like a fundamental shift in how Ethereum is perceived?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is.
To answer it, we need to kind of dig deeper into the motivations behind these institutional investments.
Okay.
Why are these giants suddenly so bullish on Ethereum?
Okay, so let's unpack that. We're all familiar with the price fluctuations, but what's driving this like newfound confidence in Ethereum's underlying value?
Okay, so one key factor is the growing recognition of Ethereum's potential as a platform for decentralized applications,
Right.
or dApps. We're seeing a Cambrian explosion of innovation on Ethereum, from decentralized finance to NFTs to supply chain management solutions.
Yeah.
Ethereum is no longer just a cryptocurrency.
Right.
It's a foundation for a whole new digital economy.
Right. It's like Ethereum is the operating system for the future of finance and technology.
Exactly.
And as that ecosystem expands, it's catching the eye of institutional investors who might have previously dismissed crypto as too speculative.
Right. And speaking of reducing speculation, another factor driving institutional interest is the increasing availability of regulated investment products like ETFs.
Okay.
These ETFs offer a familiar, secure, and regulated pathway for institutions to gain exposure to Ethereum without having to navigate the complexities of crypto exchanges.
It's all about lowering the barriers to entry for those big players. Right?
Wow.
They want in on the action, but they need a comfortable and familiar on-ramp.
Precisely. And don't underestimate the power of social proof.
Yeah.
When institutions like BlackRock and Fidelity jump in, it creates a fear of missing out for other institutions.
Right.
Nobody wants to be left behind, so they pile on, further fueling the surge. We've covered this phenomenon before on CoinTalk Podcast.
Yeah.
It's a classic herd mentality, but with billions of dollars at stake.
So it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Right.
The more people invest, the more attractive Ethereum becomes,
That's exact so.
which attracts even more investors.
To
This powerful cycle. But let's play devil's advocate for a moment.
It's-
Ethereum's been around for a while now. Why this sudden surge of interest? What's changed?
Well, Ethereum's technology has matured significantly in recent years.
Okay.
The transition to a proof-of-stake consensus mechanism has reduced energy consumption and improved scalability,
Right.
addressing two major concerns that previously held back institutional investors.
That's a great point. And don't forget the upcoming Ethereum 2.0 upgrade,
Right.
which promises even greater scalability and efficiency. We did an entire episode on CoinTalk Podcast dedicated to Ethereum 2.0.
Yeah.
If you're interested in learning more about it, check out the link in the description below.
Great.
But even with all these positive developments, Ethereum still faces challenges, right? It's not all smooth sailing.
Of course, scalability remains a key concern. Ethereum's network can get congested during peak periods, leading to slower transaction speeds and higher fees. That's something developers are actively working on, but it's a complex problem to solve.
And then there's the regulatory landscape, which is still a bit of a wild west in many parts of the world.
Yeah.
Governments are still trying to figure out how to approach cryptocurrencies. And their decisions could have a significant impact on Ethereum's future.
Regulation is the wild card, no doubt about it. It could either boost Ethereum's legitimacy and adoption, or it could stifle innovation and create barriers to entry. It's a delicate balance.
So there are definitely risks involved, but the potential rewards are undeniable. Where do you see all this heading? What's your outlook for Ethereum's future?
I'm cautiously optimistic. Ethereum has a strong developer community, a vibrant ecosystem of applications, and now increasing institutional support. Those are all positive signs. However, the challenges of scalability, regulation, and competition from other blockchains cannot be ignored.
So it's a complex landscape with both opportunities and challenges. Sounds familiar. It wouldn't be crypto if there wasn't a little bit of drama and uncertainty.
For sure.
But before we jump into the future, let's take a step back and look at the past.
Right.
We talked about those historical patterns, the capitulation candles that have preceded major price surges. How much weight should we give them in predicting Ethereum's future trajectory?
Historical patterns can be insightful, but they're not crystal balls.
Right.
While they provide context and highlight potential market cycles, they don't guarantee that history will repeat itself.
So we need to approach those patterns with a healthy dose of skepticism.
Yeah.
But they're still intriguing.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, who doesn't love a good mystery?
Yeah.
Especially when there's potentially a lot of money to be made.
Of course. It's part of what makes the crypto market so fascinating. It's unpredictable, volatile, and constantly evolving.
And that's why we love talking about it on CoinTalk Podcast. We're here to help you make sense of this crazy, exciting world.
Absolutely.
But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's zoom out for a moment and look at the bigger picture.
Okay.
This surge in Ethereum ETF inflows. What does it tell us about the overall crypto market? Are we finally entering like a new era of mainstream adoption and institutional acceptance?
It's certainly a positive signal. It suggests that institutional investors are becoming more comfortable with cryptocurrencies, recognizing the potential of the underlying technology. It's not just about speculation and quick profits anymore.
Yeah.
There's a growing understanding of the long-term value proposition.
So it's like the smart money is finally waking up to the potential of crypto. That's good news for the entire ecosystem, right?
Potentially, but institutional involvement also brings its own set of challenges.
Okay.
For one, it can increase market volatility. Institutions have vast sums of money to deploy, and their trading activity can create significant price swings.
So buckle up, folks. The ride might get a little bumpy, but hey, that's part of the thrill, right? But it's not just about volatility. There's also the issue of decentralization.
Yeah.
One of the core principles of crypto is this idea of a decentralized financial system free from the control of banks and governments. But as more institutions enter this space, there's a risk that they could exert undue influence, potentially undermining that very decentralization.
That's a valid concern. It's a classic tension between innovation and regulation, between disrupting the status quo and becoming part of the establishment. The crypto world is navigating uncharted waters here, and it'll be fascinating to see how this dynamic plays out.
It's a delicate dance, for sure. On the one hand, we want institutional involvement to bring legitimacy and stability to the market.
Right.
But on the other hand, we don't want to lose the core values of decentralization and individual empowerment that make crypto so appealing in the first place. It's a tough balance to strike.
It is indeed, and it's a conversation we need to be having as the crypto landscape continues to evolve. It's crucial for individual investors to stay informed, engage in critical thinking, and not just blindly follow the herd.
Absolutely. Do your own research, understand the risks, and make informed decisions that align with your own investment goals. And speaking of staying informed, don't forget to subscribe to CoinTalk Podcast on YouTube for all the latest crypto news, insights, and analysis.
Yes, definitely.
We're here to help you navigate this complex and constantly changing world.
We'll break down the latest developments, analyze the trends, and provide you with the knowledge you need to make smart decisions.
So hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, and leave a comment below telling us your thoughts on Ethereum institutional investment and the future of the crypto market. We love hearing from you.
And while you're at it, share this video with your friends and family who might be interested in learning more about crypto. Let's spread the knowledge and empower everyone to make informed financial decisions. Now, before we wrap up part 2, let's shift gears and get practical. In part 3, we'll explore specific strategies for investing in Ethereum ETFs and discuss what you need to consider before taking the plunge.
Stay tuned, folks. Welcome back to CoinTalk Podcast. We've spent the last 2 parts of this deep dive exploring the surge in Ethereum ETF, inflows, the reasons behind it, and the potential implications for Ethereum and the crypto market as a whole.
Right.
Now let's get down to brass tacks.
Yeah.
For those of you who are ready to take the plunge, what are some practical strategies for investing in Ethereum ETFs?
Well, it's crucial to approach any investment with a clear understanding of your financial goals, your risk tolerance, and your overall investment strategy.
Yeah.
Don't just jump in because everyone else is.
Right.
Do your research, understand the risks, and only invest what you can comfortably afford to lose.
Solid advice.
Yeah.
It's easy to get caught up in the hype, especially when you see those big green candles on the charts.
Yeah.
But responsible investing always starts with a solid plan. So for those who are ready to explore Ethereum ETFs, where do they even begin?
So the first step is to choose the right ETF for your needs.
Okay.
There are various Ethereum ETFs available, each with its own fees, structure, and investment strategy.
Right.
Some track the price of Ethereum directly, while others invest in a basket of Ethereum-related companies or projects.
Okay.
Some are actively managed, while others are passively tracked.
Gotcha.
It's like choosing a car. You need to consider what features are important to you and what fits your budget.
So you could go for like a simple low-cost ETF that just mirrors the price of Ethereum.
Right.
Or you could choose a more diversified ETF that spreads your risk across multiple companies involved in the Ethereum ecosystem.
Exactly.
It all depends on your individual risk appetite and investment goals.
And don't forget about fees.
Oh yeah, the fees.
ETFs have expense ratios,
Right.
which are annual fees charged for managing the fund. Lower expense ratios are generally better because they leave more of your money to work for you.
Makes sense.
It's like a hidden cost that can eat into your returns over time.
It's like those sneaky baggage fees that airlines hit you with. Always read the fine print, folks. So once you've done your due diligence and chosen your ETF, how do you actually go about investing in it? Is it like a complicated process?
Not at all.
Okay, good.
Most ETFs are traded on major stock exchanges. Just like traditional stocks, you can buy and sell them through your regular brokerage account.
So it's as simple as buying a stock. No need to navigate those confusing crypto exchanges.
Right.
That accessibility is a huge draw for a lot of investors who are hesitant to dive into the technicalities of managing their own crypto wallets.
Absolutely. ETFs offer a familiar and comfortable entry point for those who want exposure to Ethereum without the added complexity. But remember,
Yeah.
even though the process is simple, it's crucial to have a solid investment strategy.
Right. Don't just buy and hope for the best. Consider your investment time frame, your risk tolerance, and how this investment fits into your overall portfolio.
Exact.
Are you in it for the long haul, or are you looking for quick gains? How much risk are you willing to stomach?
Right.
These are all important questions to ask yourself before hitting that buy button. And if you're new to investing or you're feeling overwhelmed, don't hesitate to seek advice from a financial advisor.
Yeah, good point.
They can help you create a personalized investment plan that aligns with your individual goals.
Sound advice. A well-structured investment plan is like a roadmap to financial success.
Yeah.
It helps you stay focused and avoid impulsive decisions.
Now let's address the elephant in the room,
Yeah.
the risks. We've talked about the potential upside,
Right.
but what could go wrong?
Well, like any investment, there's always the risk of loss.
Life, of course.
Ethereum's price is notoriously volatile, and sharp declines can happen.
Right.
Remember, the crypto market is still relatively young, and there's a lot of uncertainty surrounding its future.
It's like riding a roller coaster.
Yeah.
There will be ups and downs, but as long as you're wearing your seatbelt, AKA a solid investment strategy,
Right.
you'll be able to handle the twists and turns. And don't forget those regulatory risks we talked about earlier. Governments are still figuring out how to approach crypto, and their decisions could have a major impact on the market.
Regulation is a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
It could bring much-needed clarity and stability to the market, attracting more institutional investors, or it could stifle innovation and create barriers to entry, hindering growth. It's something we're all watching very closely.
And that's why it's crucial to stay informed, folks. Keep your finger on the pulse of the crypto world, read reputable sources, and follow channels like CoinTalk Podcast to get expert insights and analysis.
Yes.
We're here to help you navigate these uncharted waters.
Knowledge is power, especially in a rapidly evolving space like crypto.
Right.
The more you understand, the better equipped you'll be to make sound investment decisions.
So there you have it, folks. A comprehensive deep dive into the world of Ethereum ETFs. We've covered a lot of ground today, from the surge in institutional interest to the potential risks and rewards of investing in this exciting asset class.
Definitely a lot to think about.
Hopefully you now have a better understanding of what Ethereum ETFs are, how they work, and what to consider before investing.
I hope so.
And if you're feeling inspired to learn even more, head over to our YouTube channel, CoinTalk Podcast. We've got tons of videos breaking down all things crypto.
Yep.
From beginner-friendly explainers to in-depth analysis of market trends.
Yeah, definitely check it out.
Hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, and leave a comment below telling us what you think. We love hearing from you.
Absolutely. And don't forget to share this episode with your friends and family who might be interested in learning more about Ethereum and the world of crypto.
Yes.
Let's spread the knowledge.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, happy investing.